So Skyrim developer, Fallout 4 developer, Bethesda Games. I absolutely love that IGN has to say Skyrim and Fallout developer because a lot of people don't know Bethesda Games develops them. They stated that they're no longer giving out early review copies. This set YouTube ablaze. Recently, the publisher released a blog post on their official site stating their decision and explaining it. They said, quote, "While we continue to work with media streamers and YouTubers to support their coverage, both before and after release, we want everyone, including those in the media, to experience our games at the same time." This statement pretty much states what they were saying about there. They continued on saying, quote, "We also understand that some of you want to read reviews before you make your decision. And if that's the case, we encourage you to wait on your favorite reviewers to share their thoughts." Pretty much saying don't pre-order their games unless you're absolutely sure. Now, even though those statements are pretty, I want to say PR friendly, media friendly, marketing friendly, I have a little bit to say here. I have been privy to getting free early review copies from companies like Sega and Atlas, and that's it. There's rarely anyone else who will ever give me a review copy. And this is mainly due to the fact that I don't do a lot of reviews, and my channel size is fairly small in comparison to someone like PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, hell, even Boogie, 2988. These guys, they have millions, and I only have about 500 grand. Now, while 500 grand's not a drop in the bucket, it is certainly not as big as them. My point being that I really appreciate when Atlas does send me games very early to review, and it does help people, and they do want to buy the games. But there's two sides of the coin here that I can see. One, this is extremely good for them on the business end because they can push out games that are absolutely garbage, that are glitchy messes, that need a day one patch, that need a pre-day patch, you know? The night that you install the game, you preload the game, it actually has to download a patch because it's still fucked up. You know, look, man, Bethesda's a great company. They released Doom. Doom's a great game, all right? Hey, 10 out of 10. That didn't really have an excessive problem. There were some graphical settings and issues on the PC side, but that was worked out very early on, and that was more on the end of NVIDIA and AMD rather than Bethesda. But Fallout is extremely poorly optimized for PCs. I mean, God rays, you know, there's a lot of shit that Bethesda has done in the past, like their games locking up on consoles, glitching up, causing issues, causing problems. PS3 Skyrim had big issues for a long time. Fallout 4 takes, there's times where it takes a minute and 30 seconds to load in an area fully on an Xbox One. It's not optimized and it's not great. And these things, they might bother you to a point where you're not going to buy that game if you knew about it ahead of time. And these might be very small things. The games are great. They're fun. They're enjoying. You can enjoy them a lot, and you can get a lot of enjoyment out of them. They're long, very open world. You have lots of hours you can put in, but still, you might not want to buy them on that particular console and instead opt to get it on PC, where the load times are 10 to 15 seconds instead of a minute to a minute 30 to 45 to whatever. The point being that this is really good for the publisher and not so good for the consumer. However, I do want to make the argument that this is good for the consumer as well on one small point. Do you guys know that anytime a new game is released, there will be thousands of reviews of it on YouTube? Now, I ask you, honestly, do you really think all of those people got early copies? Do you really think that every single one of those small-time YouTubers with 1,000 to 5,000 to maybe even 500 subscribers got early copies? Because I sure the hell, I know they did. I know for a fact they didn't. So how are they doing a review of a game that's only been out for less than a day? Right. They're not playing through it and they're lying to get the views and just giving themselves a little bit of playtime and then instantly throwing up footage and recording their reaction on YouTube rather than an actual in-depth review about the game. Games like Paper Mario Color Splash, they might seem really fun at first, and I'm not saying that the game in general isn't a good game and it's all right, it's polished, it works, there's no glitches, and it's just generally a fun time to play, but it's monotonous and boring. And if you only played the first 2 hours of the game, you might think, hey, this is a great game. I could play it. I'd love to play through it all the way. And then after a while, you start to say, this is a little bit boring here, you know? This isn't so fun anymore. So my point being that these small-time YouTubers will not be able to really do that anymore with the guys that they got an early copy. People can now call them out and say, hey, bull fucking shit, dude. You didn't get an early copy. I know you fucking didn't get an early copy. Stop lying to your fans. And that's good. But on top of that, you can also now call out media outlets, because when IGN sits there and puts out a review one day before the game is released, and you know that Bethesda only gives out copies one day beforehand, you'll have to understand that that person would have had to at least played half of that day and nothing else, then edited together their review, their cohesive thoughts, took notes the entire time, and then wrote up the review and put it on the site, all within a 24-hour period. And you'll know if it's bullshit or not. So that's really good for the consumer, because now when we see sites like IGN, Game Informer, GameSpot, whatever else, whatever website you guys feel like going to, Kotaku, you know, you'll know that the day early thing is in place for Bethesda. So if they publish their review on the same day that they get the review copy, you know it's horseshit and they're just doing it for clicks. And hopefully this will also stop the whole, oh, I'm gonna give this game a lower rating because I want to drum up controversy for clicks on my website. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is both good and very, very bad. At least we have one good thing come out of this, and that is the fact that we know exactly when these people are getting their copies for reviewing games, and that now, if they bullshit, we can call them out, and we know who to trust, who to listen to, and who not to. For me personally, I would honestly just say wait 2 or 3 days to buy the game. If it's a Call of Duty and you like the multiplayer and that's mostly what you play, buy it day one. Same with Battlefield. If you're just gonna buy it for the multiplayer and you don't care about anything and you know that it's not going to be a completely broken mess, then fucking buy it. But know what you're getting yourself into. No one's perfect. These companies have problems with their online servers. These companies have problems with their multiplayer. They have glitches and things like that. Just know what you're getting yourself into. But as for every other game, I would just say wait 2 or 3 days and just watch the YouTube footage. Watch actual streamers. This is real life, non-scripted bullshit. If you watch someone streaming the game and they start encountering all kinds of glitches, lockups, don't buy the fucking game until it's patched. So yeah, day one copies, early review copies, they're going away. The only thing you're gonna get is a 1 day early copy, and Bethesda is going to be very selective for who they're going to send that to. I can see this becoming a practice that is going to be widely adopted by the video game industry. I'm sure EA and Ubisoft are already foaming at the mouth seeing a lovable company doing this first and saying, well, now we can follow in tow without looking so bad. So thank Bethesda for that, ladies and gentlemen. This is probably the worst video game generation I have ever been a part of, but hey, you know, at least we got one good thing out of it. You guys have yourselves a great day, and as always, good gaming, God bless. I've been your host, Protomario, and I am signing out. Let me know what you think, your comments, your thoughts, and opinions in the section below.